how does that affect you? I know Marilyn once said she sometimes goes out of her house as Marilyn Monroe and other times as Norma Jeane.
Right.
Did you also do that?
I got to play her actually 3 times. I played her on stage in a play Susan Strasberg wrote, If She Had Lived to Be in Her 40s. Mm-hmm. I played her in another play that Renee Taylor and Joe Bologna wrote, Had She Lived to Be in Her 50s. And I did a movie called Norma Jeane, Jack and Me, which later came out as The Island, Had She Lived into her middle 50s. And she was living on a desert island with Jack, and they had never really died. They had been whisked away by the CIA to this island, Caribbean island. And then this drug dealer gets washed ashore, and he's a young kid, and he doesn't believe they're who they say they are. And Marilyn asks him questions about John Jr. and Caroline and all this. And it's hard to find, like a lot of my movies are hard to find, but it's called The Island or Norma Jeane, Jack and Me. And I really had a blast playing her, and I got to know her stand-in and her hairdresser and the head of the Marilyn Monroe fan club, and I got to really get in all of that. And it was great. And I think Entertainment Tonight came out on the set in Santa Barbara and made a film of me preparing to play Marilyn, and then singing Happy Birthday to Michael Murphy, who played John F. Kennedy. Yeah, I've done about 150 movies now, and I can't even remember a lot of them. But the ones that stand out in my mind for your audience are, of course, Anna, and Revenge with Kevin Costner and Anthony Quinn, and Best of the Best with Eric Roberts, and Cold Feet with Tom Waits and Keith Carradine and Jeff Bridges and Rip Torn, and the cameos in The Sting, The Way We Were, A Star Is Born, Private Benjamin. Somebody told me on a radio show yesterday, they reminded me I was in Blazing Saddles playing the cashier when Slim Pickens comes down.
You forgot that?
Yeah. I just hadn't thought of it recently. Yeah. And I did it uncredited because I was like a snob. I had just done The Sting, The Way We Were, and had more lines than I did in Mel Brooks' film. And I said to Mel, I'll do it, but I don't want my name. Stupid, Anyway, I was the cashier when Slim Pickens comes down the food, on the tray, and I'm ringing him up, and I remember my last 2 words were tuna surprise, and whenever I ran into Anne Bancroft and Mel Brooks, they would give me my dialogue, Anyway, I loved doing The Haunted, A True Story, which I got a Golden Globe nomination for, that was on television, and I loved a film called Coffee Date, playing the mother of 2 guys who can't figure out if they're straight or gay. I just did a film that hasn't come out yet called Suburban Gothic with Matthew Gubler. I just did Criminal Minds in the past couple of years, and I play this diva whose son kills all these young 20-year-old girls who looked the way she looked when she was in her 20s, or tried to kill them. Matthew Gubler I got to know, and he's starring in Suburban Gothic, and with Kat Dennings from Two Broke Girls, and John Waters is in it, and I play John Waters' assistant, and we have this organization that brings people back from the dead. So it's like a horror comedy flick.
Oh, interesting.
Suburban Gothic.
So what's the setback that you had in your life, and then you overcame it and were able
Being pronounced dead from drugs, yeah.
Okay.
Luckily that had an impact on me, so I don't do drugs, and I don't smoke, and I don't drink, and I'm pretty boring.
So you overcame it by changing your way of lifestyle.
I got into yoga. I became a yoga teacher for 35 years. And of course I met Swami Satchidananda, who made me a yoga teacher, and then I met John Roger in 73. So since 73, I've been on this path that I'm on now. You can find, if you go to msia.org, it's right there, everything. You can look at Moments of Peace right there. Yes. And unfortunately, I have to go meet with fortunately for me, with a member of the Hollywood Foreign Press.
Oh, that's great. So what do you want your legacy to be?
Well, it's a word I mentioned earlier, truth. That my life is about truth and living love. Not talking about it, but living it.